सृष्टि जयंत देशमुख, जागृति अवस्थी, प्रेमवदा माधवलकर एंड मेनी मोर। दोस्तों, इन सब यूपीएससी टॉपर्स में दो चीजें कॉमन है। पहला, सोशियोलॉजी ने इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले किया इनकी सफलता में, एंड दूसरा, इन्होंने स्लीपी क्लासेस का कंटेंट या फिर टेस्ट सीरीज फॉलो की। दोस्तों, हम अपने सोशियोलॉजी के कोर्सेज में आपको ना सिर्फ रैंक ओरिएंटेड कंटेंट प्रोवाइड करते हैं, बल्कि करंट अफेयर अपडेट्स भी साथ साथ ही देते हैं। दोस्तों, आंसर राइटिंग के लिए 120 से ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस हैं। आप उनको लिखिए, इवैल्यूएट करवाइए, फीडबैक लीजिए। अगर डाउट्स आ रहे हैं तो टेलीग्राम पर आप डाउट्स पूछ सकते हैं, एंड टू टॉप इट ऑल, वन-ऑन-वन मेंटरशिप भी अब आपको अवेलेबल करवा दी गई है। दोस्तों, हमारा एक सपना था कि हम देश के ग्रास रूट से टॉपर्स क्रिएट करें, एंड वो पूरा होता जा रहा है। अफोर्डेबल कोर्सेज हैं, एंड अगर आप अभी भी थोड़ा अनडिसाइडेड हैं तो हमारे YouTube पर जाकर सोशियोलॉजी की प्लेलिस्ट देखिए। बहुत से बच्चे फॉलो करते हैं, एंड उसके बाद अगर लगता है लेवल थोड़ा रेज करना है, कोर्सेज ज्वाइन कीजिए। तो दोस्तों, मिलेंगे क्लासेस में एंड आफ्टरवर्ड्स विद अ टॉप रैंक।
Hi, this is Devipriya Ajith. I have secured All India Rank 51 in UPSC Indian Forest Service Exam 2021 and Rank 573 in Civil Service Exam 2022. So first I will talk about the general things about the agriculture paper. Agriculture has two papers, paper 1 and 2. Paper 1 is more a kind of a generalistic paper. It is divided into 8 subjects like agriculture, economics, extension, irrigation and soil water conservation, forestry, like that. And in this only 2 subjects like soil, nutrient and fertility and this weed science, these only 2 are more technical and the others are generalistic type. In paper 2, it is a more a technical, pure science based paper which includes cell biology and genetics, plant breeding, plant physiology, plant protection, horticulture, etc. And in this only a food production and nutrient management, that is only more generalistic in nature. And regarding the benefits of taking agriculture as an optional, the major thing is that it has overlapping with the GS paper 3. For example, the subjects like minimum support price, PDS system, crop insurance, agriculture storage, transport and marketing, food processing industries, both of this overlaps in the agriculture optional as well as GS paper 3. And also this has added advantage to the prelims exams. Many questions are asked from the agriculture sector. Another advantage is that if you have a science graduation, then you can take agriculture optional for both forest service as well as civil service exam. Being a technical paper, most of the times the questions are repeated. So we also have an advantage of getting a question that are we more familiar with. So this is regarding who can take agriculture optional. So any graduates who have a science background and those who have studied biology up to class 12, they could take agriculture optional. As I said, the paper 1 is more generalistic type, and if we analyze through the subject, we can see that the 7 out of 15 subjects are more generalistic type that anyone could easily understand. Only the 8 topics are more science based and more technical, for which if one without the agriculture or biology background may have to take coaching for more understanding. So next we could talk about how to start studying for the agriculture optional. The first thing that I did was I correlated the syllabus of agriculture optional with that of the UPSC previous year question. I took the last 10 years questions of both forest service as well as civil service for agriculture, and I subdivided these questions based on the UPSC agricultural syllabus. An example that I could say is that if we arrange the previous year questions based on topics of the optional, we could easily identify which all are important topics. An example is if we take soil science and nutrient management, we can see that every year the questions like biofertilizers and integrated nutrient management, etc. are repeated. If we take agronomy also, every year we can see questions on precision farming, organic agriculture, integrated farming system being repeated. So in that way we could identify which all are the important topics among each subject that we need to study. And within a paper we could also identify those subjects we could study more. For example, if we take paper 1, we have weed science, soil water conservation and irrigation, ecology, etc. These 3 subjects, they have very less number of topics within them, but every year they are repeated so much. In paper 2 also, what I did was I took three subjects like genetics and plant breeding, cell biology and plant physiology. These three subjects I studied them very deeply, and for the other four subjects in paper 2 I only identified the important questions from previous year and I studied that. One of the advantage of this method is that we have a high benefit to cost ratio, because for very less effort that we put we can secure more marks, and also we can study in an arranged and structured way, and we will have to dedicate only very less time. In case of people like working professional, for example, I was a working professional while I was preparing for UPSC. So in such case, within the time that is available to us, we could arrange our notes and we could identify the topics and study that. So next is regarding notes making. For notes making, we can either purchase ready-made notes from the market, or we can prepare notes ourselves by referring to standard textbooks and websites. What I did was that I prepared my notes based on referring books and websites. So regarding note making, as I said earlier, I have identified important questions and I made notes in such a way that exactly like how we write UPSC answers, I stick to the word limit and I made notes. For example, if it is a 250 words questions, I stick to that word limit and I wrote notes like that. I have referred standard textbooks and I have identified important diagrams and added it to my note. For value addition, I have added current affairs points. For example, if we write about soil fertility, we can include the schemes like soil health card scheme. And if we talk about crop insurance, we can write PM Fasal Bima Yojana. For irrigation, we can write PM Krishi Sinjai Yojana, like that. And also, I have written standard definitions from the reference books for each of the subtopics, and from different ministry websites I have noted down the relevant statistics related to each questions. So after note making, the next thing we need to do is study, revise and attend test series. I have attended test series of Shankar IAS Academy and also Krishna Bukhare's Academy. And regarding answer writing, how to manage time in the exam hall. So for civil service exam, for agriculture optional, we have to write for 250 marks in 3 hours, and for forest service exam, we have to write for 200 marks in 3 hours. So for civil service, I have divided it in such a way that I will attend answers questions of 80 to 90 marks in 1 hour, and for forest service, I will attend questions of 60 to 70 marks in 1 hour. So regarding answer writing, similar to the general studies paper, in optional papers also, our answer should be divided into introduction, body and conclusion. In introduction, if it is a technical paper, we can add definitions from standard textbook. For example, if soil fertility is asked, we can ask the standard definition of soil fertility. And if it is a generalist paper, such as in agriculture extension, we could add the relevant statistics. For example, 80% small and marginal farmers in India, like that. And when we come to body of the answer, what I did was, I have divided all my answers into different subheadings of multiple dimensions, and I have boxed up the subheadings also. This will make the examiner very easy to identify and mark our questions. And within the body, I try to include maximum diagrams like cross sections of a cell, like that. From the standard textbook, whatever I have referred, I have tried to add maximum diagrams. And if it is a classification questions, I have added flow charts, and I have tried to do diagrams in the journalistic paper like graphs. In this way, we can enrich our answer. And in the conclusion, if it is a journalistic paper like extension or economics, we can suggest way forward such as long term and short term measures. And for technical papers like plant breeding, we can write examples of a variety release. If it is a question of backrows or pedigree method, we can write a recently released variety of a crop by that method. Like that, we can quote the example. So the last thing is about the important books for reference. For plant breeding and genetics, I have referred B.D. Singh's book, and for plant physiology, I have referred V.K. Singh's book, some YouTube videos, and also the NCERT textbooks. For horticulture, there is a book of N. Kumar. For agronomy, Elalamada Reddy book, and for this soil science I have referred DK Das book. In addition to this, I have also referred Handbook of Agriculture by ICAR, and one of the major source of my study was TNAU and Angarao website. So that's all about the different sources of study. And agriculture is, if we study it properly and if we are able to answer well, it is a very good subject to score more. And also it is very important to complete the paper and answer all the subparts of the question. And if possible, we should try to attend the technical questions more. For example, there will be 5 questions that we need to attend out of total 8 questions. First and fifth questions are compulsory, and out of the 3 remaining questions, we need to select among them and try to write more technical questions. For example, if it is paper 1, there are questions from extension and weed science. Try to write questions from the weed science if you know it, because those technical questions, the chance for scoring more is very high. So in that way we can write our answers. So these are some of the general points regarding the agriculture optional. I hope it is useful for us, everyone who is preparing. Thank you.